Hello to everybody. My name is Chiara and I'm Clearing Product Manager for Gireve. Today I'm going to introduce you to our services and product related to invoicing and payments.
Hi everybody, my name is Thibault Lemierre and I'm in charge of business development at Gireve for French market, Belgium and Luxembourg also. We're going to deal with clearing and invoicing services, which are very important for our customers today. Thank you for attending. So we're going to move on the first slide. So the first part of the presentation will be linked to our presentation to give you some insights about Gireve and why we're discussing today this matter in the roaming field. And also we're going to enter into detail with the clearing meaning precisely, what we intend to solve as problems, and the different services we implemented to do so. Can move on. Yeah. Okay, so just to give you some insights about Gireve, we are actually dealing with roaming. So the roaming is the way we intermediate the different transaction in between B2B actors, CPOs, and eMSPs. And the platform has been conceived to do that. And on the top of it, so many services have been built. So the services which are, for example, clearing and invoicing, but also all the technicity linked to this roaming, the negotiation also in between the CPO and the eMSPs, which are very linked to the core of our job. And beside that, we're acting in more than 35 countries to this date, specifically in Europe. And our customers are very diverse because we are working with OEMs, CPOs, eMSPs, navigation service provider, payment service providers, TSO, DSOs, so many different actors which are concerned by these services. And so we'll enter in details, but we also have a wide variety of data products and also consulting services which are based on our experience and knowledge of the market linked to the core of our business, roaming. So we're a marketplace, if you finalize it, that has a very accurate volume of data that can be transferred to other kind of products because the data is relevant on the market. We naturally deal with millions of transactions. We have more than 800 accounts, so meaning 800 CPO operations on Gireve, with a consistent growth over the last years, which is still increasing massively. And naturally, we have a quality data check, which is very important based on the fact that our customers are using this data and has to be accurate to make sense and to deliver the service expected. That's it. Can move on. A few numbers. So as you can see, on the growth of Gireve has been basically exponential, but this is following up also the market trends with electric mobility. So today we have more than 500,000 roaming POIs, so EVSs, which are available through Gireve, which and you can see that starting really between 2022 and 2024, we had massive rise in those numbers. So basically, the coefficient multiplicator is impressive, multiplied by 2.1. So it's testified that the growth of this market is huge, but we are at the center of this ecosystem. So we are obviously following it as a trend for our services too. We can move on. So now I'm going to speak about the clearing specifically. So just an overview of what I'm describing. Gireve is performing roaming, so intermediating the sessions. So all the technical background is related to Gireve, but in the end of the process, when you make those intermediations, you need the CPO to retrieve the funds that is been delivering to the eMSP customers. So basically the EV drivers are just subscribing to the eMSP to get the service, and the eMSP is going through Gireve with a contract with the CPO, so that the EV driver from the eMSP can trigger a session on the EVSE of the CPO. At the end of the process, so at the end of the month, of the quarter, it really depends on the different services we're expecting, there's a need of for the CPO invoicing the eMSP, but on Gireve you have more than 150 eMSPs that are present on the system, so it could reach for the CPO 150 invoices. So the clearing starts here. So what we need in the clearing is all the different workflows, all the different methods that we have to clear. So to qualify the session, make sure there's no any defaults or not any errors through the sessions, and that the CPO can validate those sessions, and then deliver requests from Gireve, the invoicing process of these sessions to the eMSP that triggers those sessions. So imagine it, you need to combine one CPO can reach up to 150 agreements, so 150 invoices per month or per quarter, and all the process of clearing before invoicing is achieved through Gireve, and all the reconciliation will come off, and we were gonna describe it. This is all that we call clearing and invoicing process. To give you an average statistic and numbers, we manage more than 1 million sessions per month through Gireve systems, which is really important, and this is following the trend of exponential growth. And what I was saying is we can, on average, for the customers that we can see, either they are just using Gireve to do so or doing that on their own. They're in between 20 and 150 invoices, following the number of roaming contracts they sign on Gireve. Something which I wanted to let you know is, why did we decide to start, the clearing and invoicing features at Gireve? It's because we have gathered more than about 170 CSMS, so supervising system connected to us, and all those supervising systems have their own performance, own features, on manner to deal with the different EVSE models they are dealing with, and all that is making inconsistency on the different workflows, depending on the different technology used, on the different way to manage it. So we observed a volume of errors, which could be linked to energy delivered, could be linked to duration, inconsistency between the pricing, which was indicated in between the CPO and the eMSP over the contract signed on Gireve, and the information sent through the CDR. All those information processed and the experience of Gireve from this diversity made us build a very accurate system with an algorithm that enabled us to clear, so to identify, to qualify the sessions and raise any error that were detected over the platform, helping the CPO and the eMSP to understand clearly, what has to be invoiced, what has to be corrected before invoicing. And the complexity of dealing with it is important, and is also is a cost which is very high, and which is getting higher and higher when you have a volume of session which is increasing for the CPO. So we needed an automation, and we had from the market the request of offering features that helped the CPO and also the eMSP that needed visibility over those sessions and the correction related. So now we can move on.
Yes, sure. So first of all, thank you very much, Thibaut, for this introduction. What I would like to do is, before really deep diving in our, product and solution, I would like just to give you a recap regarding the ecosystem and how, different market players act, and also underline how Gireve position itself. So as you may see here, what is currently happening in the market is that we have the owner of the charging point. We have the CPOs, which are most often connected to, for example, some external back office provider, which are, of course, connected to the charging point on one side. On the other side, we have the eMSPs, who are managing basically the relationship with the EV driver at the end of the day. And of course, they are connected as well to a back office provider. And as you can see in the middle of this let's say, technical relation and connection, you can find Gireve. At Gireve, what we proposed is on one side a roaming platform you say that the core business is the interoperability. And at the same time, we provide you with our Connect Place, which is a platform that enables you to basically manage the relationship, the business relationship between you and your partners. That's why what we can say is that at Gireve, we are able to provide roaming solution, a business service solution, and also what we're going to deep dive a little bit more together here, the clearing solution. Moving forward, okay. So moving forward, what we can experience here, when we're talking about clearing services, first of all, clearing services starts as soon as we receive at Gireve, the CDRs for all the session. And so basically what we provide to you is, first of all, a service that is able to verify, the quality of the CDR, the information that we can find in the CDR, and also calculate what we call billing, so the price of the session. Then, of course, we enable you to, track and follow, all the work that has been done around the CDR. We will be able, as you can see, also to dispute the CDR. We take care of the invoicing, the money collection and reconciliation, and in the future, and this is part of the roadmap presentation that we will have at the end, we will be able also to pay your invoices. So here, what we wanted to do was really to, let's say, show to you which is the relation when it comes, to invoicing. So basically, as you can see here, we have a B2B relation between the CPO and the eMSP, which is what we are currently addressing at Gireve. And then you will have a B2C invoicing between the eMSP and the EV driver.
And sorry, perhaps Chiara, just if we can step back once.
Absolutely.
To add a comment on that. What is very important here is just to identify that we are running the end-to-end process from really the beginning, so the roaming itself and the checking. So we're troubleshooting everything, we're making the billing, tracking is and offering the possibility of contesting a session, and just everything is remaining through Gireve. You don't have to get out of Gireve to be able to process this, up to the end where you have indeed the invoicing, collection of the money, and the status of and reconciliation process. So we're easing really much all the steps of the life of a CPO and the eMSP that can identify whether or not the invoicing is corresponding to what is experienced in terms of business. So that's a full view is integrated. No need to get out of Gireve for that.
Absolutely. And thank you, Thibaut. So yes, as Thibaut said, here we are really want to offer to you this hand-to-hand solution that we are gonna deep dive right now all together. So first of all, when it comes to our services related to clearing, what we decided to do at Gireve, it is really to split, let's say, the entire process in three main phases. As you can see, we will have a before invoicing phases during which we are receiving your CDRs, we are verify your CDR, check the quality of them, calculate the price, and so on. Then you have a second phase during the invoicing. That is, of course, in which, let's say that the focus is our invoicing service. And we will see together that basically what we do is that we take, all the calculation of the cost of the session, and we're going to basically deliver to you the invoices. And then you will see that we have an after invoicing phase. that we are currently implementing right now, and it will continue to be part of the roadmap along 2025. First of all, when it comes to before invoicing, the three main pillars for us for this space are really centralized. So really the idea for us is that you have the possibility to find all the information related to your CDRs, the verification that we run, and the calculation that we made, and so on, all in one platform in our Connect Place, our platform. Also, you have the audit and the calculate. So basically the fact that we're going, to run roughly 20 quality checks on your CDRs in order to ensure that everything is fine. And of course, we are going to highlight when there are some errors, where information are missing, where something seems, let's say, somewhat helpful to us, according, to the overall analysis that we are always running. And the third point, sorry, is that you will be able, of course, to manage all the information related to the session straight from our platform. So how it looks like our platform today. This is our platform. So basically here, either you are an eMSP or a CPO, you are able to have this overview in which you are able to find all the information related to the session. And so for example, you find all the basic related to the dates, the charging point, also for example the valorization, so the price of the session that we calculate, and so on. And also you can run, for example, all your research with this advanced, let's say, search tool. And so you are able, for example, to filter according to what you are specifically looking for. Here, as I anticipated to you, what we're going to do is that we are always running, some check and verification. And how we decided to highlight where there are some errors regarding to a possible, session is with the system of flags. So, for example, if you find the green flag, of course, it means that everything is fine, everything is okay. So, no information is missing. We have like the right calculation and so on. If there is an orange flag, it means that basically there are some issue, but overall we could say that the CDR, it's okay. So everything is fine. So we are really leaving to your appreciation, either you want or not eventually to take any action for this specific session. And where there is a red flag, it means that something is not like, it didn't work like properly. So basically we detected a possible major error. So in this case, of course, the recommendation would be to eventually take some action and eventually contact your partner to see together what happened, for example, for this specific charging session.
Sure. Just to also mention the fact that we have a wide variety of error types that could be upcoming during a session, during the loading. And here, one of the features also Gireve is just displaying is supposing that a supervising system does not allow the calculation of the total cost, so meaning the reconciliation of the money that should be stopped after the session. We can calculate it. So some supervising system are supplying an information which is not filling the total cost, and the total cost is based. Let's say it's the attributes that is used by the eMSP to calculate the B2C invoicing to their end customer. And so Gireve is supplying this information so that we can compare this pricing. If the total cost is indicated, we can compare it to the Gireve calculation. And if it's not provided, Gireve is supplying this information to the eMSP, which is very important to have a seamless service. There it is.
Absolutely. You're totally right, Thibaut. And we know that is something really important for our client for their internal, reconciliation and comparison. If we are moving forward, as I told you before, what we enable you is also to manage you through our platform any possible issue with a specific session. That's why at Gireve we decided to introduce this feature that we can call disputes, which enables basically eMSP to raise an issue and communicate the issue to the CPO before the invoicing. What we thought is it would have been interesting to settle any possible dispute and issue before the invoicing, because we thought that after invoicing it can be like more complicated. It requires more operational activity, from the internal team and so on. So the idea here for this feature is really that when you receive, as a MSP, you receive the CDR of a session, you will be able to go in our platform and underline the fact by sending also a message to our feature, to the CPO. So underline based the fact that there is an issue according to a dedicated session, a specific session. It can be an issue related to the calculation of the price. It can be a matter of duration and so on, but the idea here is that you will be able to do this and also to follow which is going to be the decision of the CPO. As a CPO as well, you can act in two ways. In one way, you can eventually go and answer to the dispute that was raised by the eMSP before the invoicing. Or eventually, if you know, because you're able to detect through our platform, for example, that there has been an issue with a session, you are able eventually to declare it on your side without waiting for the dispute from the eMSP. You are able to declare your what we call the invoicing intention. So basically, if you want, eventually you don't want a session to be invoiced, or you want the session to be invoiced up to zero. So in this way, again, you will be able to communicate to the MSP, because the MSP will have the information through our platform regarding your decision. And in this way, you will be able, to avoid any possible issue and disputes with the MSP. If you're moving forward, what is going to happen during the invoicing? Because here we are, after the moment during which everything has been settled regarding, the session. So right now we're starting with invoicing. Basically, here our three pillars are, first of all, create, because the principle that we decided to approach at Gireve was really the possibility to, make you saving time to you and your teams by basically generating on our own your invoicing. So what we're going to do is that we're going to exploit the billing calculation, so the calculation of the session that we made internally through our internal tool, in order to prepare and generate the invoices for you. So basically, once the invoices are ready, you are going to validate them. The idea is that we're going to share the invoices with you. You will be able to validate, and if it is the case, which happens rarely, to be totally fair, you will be able to tell us if there are some adjustments that has to be, performed on our side. Once you validate, you are going to send the invoice to the eMSPs, and you will be able also to find those same invoices in our platform, always for your reference. What we produce today at Gireve are the invoice, the PDF file of the invoice, and also what we call the detailed invoice, which includes the list, of all the session to the invoice for the invoice, So just to give you like a quick idea on how we produce, which looks like, an invoice for us. This is an example. As you can see, basically, we decided to totally adapt, to the classic, let's say, template. And bear in mind that since this is a template, we are able to fully, adapt it to your specific needs. For example, it's something that we are used to do it. And so, yes, this is what the invoice looks like. And this is what you are going to send after, the process of validation to your eMSP. So really the idea here for us is that once, let's say the onboarding before launching the service with you is done, you don't have to do basically anything because you are going to take care of all the different phases of the process. So once the invoices are sent to our clients, here we start with let's say the after invoicing phase, during which, as we will see together, we are going to take care of processing the eMSP payment. First of all, what we're going to propose you in the next few weeks is the new product for the reconciliation. And of course, again, the idea is that you will be able to find in our Connect place, in order always to centralize all the information, you will be able to monitor and track everything related to your invoices and the payments. So, as I said, first of all, what we do is that we process the payment of the eMSP. So basically, we are going to create for you a dedicated wallet on which the eMSP will be able to send the money for the different invoices. And in our platform, you will be able to see when which invoice has been paid, when as well, you will be able to have the information. And as I said, which invoice has been paid and if a partial or total payment occurred. And this is, let's say, our core service that we call the reconciliation, because basically what you are able to do is that we're basically able to match the information related to the invoices, because, for example, we are producing the invoices for you, with the information related to the payments, as we are processing them through our internal system. And so in this way, you will, even though, for example, you're receiving a payment for an invoice that has been sent a few months ago, you will be always able to know if the invoice has been paid or not. Only checking, with this my invoices page, this is how we call it in the Connect place. You will see, for example, even if you have, you have follow-up on invoice because it has not been paid yet, you will see if the invoice has been sent, has been paid, and so on. So, of course, this page has to be looked together with my wallet page. Basically, what we decided to do is to create a new page in your platform in which you will be able to follow, the history of the transaction of the wallet that Gireve has created for you through our payment service provider. So basically, what you can see in this page, you will find the IBAN created for your account. You will see, the amount that is available that you have, received through our system. And also you will be able to see, as I told you, the different transactions, for example, all the different money that you received with the reference for each invoice that has been paid. And as well, you will be able to see when the money has been sent, from this wallet to the beneficiary of your choice. Of course, you will be able to generate, for example, a CSV file with all, the history of those transactions for the internal reconciliation for internal usage. Once the money is in this wallet that we have created for you, you will be able, as I told you, to transfer the amount to a beneficiary of your choice. I want you to be reassured about the fact that this beneficiary cannot be changed at the very beginning of the product. And this is for a matter of, security of your internal process. So it will be in this way you will be able to avoid any possible fraud, because this beneficiary will be set up at the very beginning of the creation of your account. And what it is important to say is that also you are not obliged to send all, the money that are available on your wallet, but you can, for example, decide for which invoice you want basically to collect from our platform, and you can eventually decide to transfer all the amount that is available or even only a part of it. Of course, when we decided to design this new feature regarding the reconciliation, the payment management, and so on, we didn't want, to close ourselves to the possibility to open this solution also for clients that clients that don't want to benefit from our money, from our invoicing service. That's why we decided and designed, it is already available in our platform, to build also an entire process that enables you, for example, to upload your own invoices, because I don't know, they can come from other connection that you have out of Gireve. And what is interesting is that through our system, you can upload the invoice, you can upload the CSV file with the detail, of the session per invoice, and you can, in this way, will be able to stock all the information, and you will be able as well to send the invoices to our eMSPs, as long, of course, they are eMSPs in our roaming service. Once all is done, you will be able to collect the money, to receive the payment for those invoices, even though we're not like produced by Gireve, always with the system that I showed you before. Also, another point that I would like to highlight is the fact that if, for example, you did not receive the payments through our system, you will be always able to tag invoice as it has been paid, because so in this way you will be able to really centralize the information in our platform, and it's something that you can do like really in a super easy way, and in this way all the information will be in our connect place. Last feature that I really would like, to highlight for you is the fact that you can use our platform to send consistent follow-up to your partners if an invoice has not been paid. You can basically go in our platform, select the invoice, okay, and send a message. And so in this way, everything is going to be like centralized in our messaging tool, and you will be able, to follow all the history of the different, messages and exchanges that you have with your partner related to a specific invoice that not been paid. So if you managed to reach so far, what I would like to do right now is to share with you some insight of what is going to come in the next month, because as I told you, the idea here for us is really to build in something that is already happening, a bunch of new products that are really able, to help you in your everyday task related to clearing, and also that are able, to help your team save time. That's why the idea is really that we are going to be like a third party that you can eventually trust for all the entire process. And this is why I would like to, to share a little bit with you our roadmap. As I told you before, this payment and reconciliation management is something that is going to happen, will be available in the next few weeks. And then what we're expecting to deliver is going to be the possibility for MSPs to pay multiple invoices with only one payment to multiple CPOs, by the way, because we know that sometimes it can be like quite tricky for eMSPs because they have to make, I don't know, 20, 30 different payments for 20, 30 different invoices and so on. So in this way, thanks to this new feature, you will be able to perform only one payment. And then at Gireve, we're going to take care, of splitting the money to all your partners. The second feature that I would like to talk to you really briefly is related to the disputes, the feature that I told you before. The idea is really to really automate the feature, because we know that sometimes you have to dispute more than one CDR, so it can be like painful, in terms of user experience. So we would like to test together with you the possibility to automate this feature. For 2025, as we are continuing, to build and propose you new feature, we are currently working on the possibilities. Yeah, on these new products, thanks to which we will be able to generate the invoice for all the session, even the session that has been performed out of, let's say, Gireve roaming, so Gireve ecosystem. While also we would like to implement an ERP integration, because in this way, sir.
I'm sorry, not just yeah, I just wanted to add an important point about external invoicing. It's critical for us to have our customer, current and future, understand that we aim at simplifying their job on the day-to-day basis, linked to the clearing and invoicing process. So basically, we understand that depending on the side of the customer, they might handle different kind of type of sessions. So either it could be Jira, but also other roaming platforms. Could be also peer-to-peer sessions, and all that kind of use cases are totally handled by Gireve. We take in charge. We take for granted that the clearing tool that we've been describing, has to be applied to all the different use cases to simplify an homogeneous process for the customer. It doesn't have you do not have to deal with several processes adapted to each of the different platform or use cases. We can centralize into Gireve all the use cases. So basically, instead, external invoicing is the next step. You can see it's for 2025. It's the next stage. So you currently can do everything from check and bill, invoicing, money collect and refund. Next step is external invoicing, and we will have also the ERP integration mentioned by Kira is very important, because you do have the need also to recover the different voices into your systems from Gireve, and this would be also available through API. But that's the next stage. And the last one I will let Kira explain, but will be very interesting also for Q2 2025.
Yes, thank you, Thibaut. Yes, indeed, of course, as you may understand, what we are launching in the next weeks, regarding the reconciliation and payments and management, for us is really like the first step toward a new, let's say, a new bunch of products. And of course, the idea for us for the very first part of 2025 is going to be also to make these new products evolve. That's why we are proposing to you, let's say, a V2, a version 2, an evolution, let's say a natural evolution of the product, which is going to enable you to basically split what has been collected and processed through our system to different beneficiaries, because we know that for you is important, because we know that behind you there are, for example, different owner of charging point and so on. So you need to be more autonomous when it comes, to manage the amount that has been collected to our service, and that's why, thanks to this feature, we will be able to run all this management and to follow, of course, all the different, movement that has occurred on your wallet.
Maybe to add to bring a final description of that. So the last one, V2, so second version of money collection is to get into a bit, sorry for that technical details, you have to imagine that you have an operation as a CPO. So into this operation, the CPO is gathering several owners. So this operation can gather up to, let's say, 100 or 200 owners. So EVS is coming from different channels, customer channel for the CPO. The idea is when you're invoicing through Gireve the eMSP for example, a full month, then the refund in the current money collection will be sent to the CPO. So we can see the reconciliation, the status of payment from the eMSP. So that's totally correct. But after that, the role of the CPO is he has to divide the amount of money collected as a CPO and refund it to the different, let's say, sub CPOs or owners behind the big operation. And the idea is just we will be in a position with this feature to automate the refund process for all the owners behind the CPO operation. And this, naturally, the CPO has also its own business model, and so we can just separate the refund of the session price to the sub CPO of the owners, but also refund the CPO for the money he has to collect for the services delivering to his owners. So this will totally be an option. It doesn't mean that you do have to choose the full package. It will be modular, so you can choose either to remain with the money collection first stage, or go up to the refund, which will lower the impact of this clearing, invoicing process and refunding process. So that's it.
Yes, thank you very much, Thibaut. I think that we are done for today. So I would like to thank all of you for participating in our webinar. And of course, do not hesitate to get in touch with you if you have you want to have further information regarding our services, or you have any questions on for your inquiries. Thanks, and goodbye to everybody.
Thank you very much. Have a lovely day, and thank you for your attention.